14 alone, 100 people lived under one roof.
I've been in a room in Dublin where there was no bed, a heap of sacks and rags in a corner, no furniture, a broken box by the fireside. The people slept in their clothes. They never took them off.
Decay was everywhere, and sanitation was poor.
How was cleanliness possible when some 30 or more people have to share the same sanitary accommodation? The common hall and staircase become exceedingly foul, while the state of the common yard frequently beggars description.
Worst of all was the death rates of the city's young. In working-class neighbourhoods, nearly a third of children would not live to see their 5th birthday. In one terrible instance, Catherine Davis, from number 7 Henrietta Street, lost 12 out of her 14 children.
It breeds misery, and worse, it causes a great waste of human life and human force. Men, women and children can never rise to the best that is in them under such condition.
Many of the women of Henrietta Street were both mothers and breadwinners. 70-hour working weeks were standard. Bread and tea were dyed staples, along with potatoes, cabbage, and occasionally bacon.
The man who works hard all day for small pay, and too with his family, has no home but an insanitary and unsafe shanty, cannot be expected to make a good citizen, or to hold law and order in much regard.
Because of unemployment and job insecurity, many were attracted to the new radical trade unionism of Big Jim Larkin. Rosie Hackett, whose family once lived here at number 14, would use these ideas to champion rights, especially for women.
The heather of revolt against intolerable conditions has been dried in the 20,000 single tenement rooms of Dublin. Syndicalism set the heather on fire.
And though the famous Dublin lockout of 1913 resulted in a bitter defeat, the struggle of the city's workers brought tenement conditions into the spotlight. But just as these issues were being debated, Ireland entered a period of upheaval, known as the Irish Revolution. In 1914, with many Dubliners left unemployed by the lockout, the ranks of the British Army beckoned.
Dear mother, just a few lines, hoping to find you in the best of health as I am myself. This thing you see my foot resting on is a piece of German shell.
Army pay was attractive, and the Great War wasn't fussy about its recruits. Family men and young men alike soon found themselves on the front line. As the First World War ravaged Europe, there was conflict at home too. In the years that saw the 1916 Easter Rising and the War for Irish Independence, several men and women from the tenements lost their lives. Despite these dramatic events, the miserable conditions of tenement life would not improve for a long time. Large families continue to live out of rooms like the one you're standing in right now, battling cold and damp, disease and rodents. Here, tea was made, babies were born, loves were lost, fires lit, letters written, bread was broken, walls were whitewashed, and lives were lived.
So I did say that this was darkest Dublin, so you'd be glad to know that as we move back up through the house, that things change ever so slightly for the better. So the next room I'm going to take you into is what we call the playroom, and we'll show you a video of the games the children played. The voice of the elder, the man in the video is Peter, who was born in this room. Okay. Does anyone need questions?
Where were they buried, all those
Sorry?
all those that lost their lives?
Yes.
At that time, where were they buried? Were they?
Well, up in Glasnevin Cemetery we have the Angels plot, and it's an unmarked burial, sort of 50,000 children, all in unmarked graves, so that's where an awful lot of them. One of the really sad things is that, in particular, women didn't even get a chance to grieve, because in most cases it was just the men that brought the child up in a coffin on for example, a push bike, you know, and we just buried the child up there while the mother looked after the rest of the family going forward. So